This morning in Health Watch, sex addiction. Actor David Duchovny has entered rehab for it, and he's not the first celebrity to face such an addiction. Christy Brinkley accused her ex-husband Peter Cook of spending thousands of dollars on internet porn. So, is this a true addiction? And if so, how common is it? Joining us is Ian Kerner, author of Sex Detox. Good morning.
Good morning, Julie.
Well, is this such a thing? Give me a working definition of
sexually. First of all, the APA, the American Psychiatric Association, does not recognize the term sex addiction because it's so broad. So generally, the term hypersexuality, sexually compulsive behavior is what gets used. But it's very much a real condition. And what the latest scientific research is showing is that all addictions, whether it's an addiction to alcohol, an addiction to drugs, gambling, or sex, affects the human brain in the same way. So I think we can definitely say that sexually compulsive behavior is a very real problem for millions of people.
Define the behavior. Do you have to actually be having sex with multiple people to be a sex addict?
Well,
or if you're just looking at porn online?
Oh, absolutely. The internet, I think, has been the #1 enabler of the increase of sexually compulsive behavior. So whereas in previous years, you might have thought of a sex addict as somebody who's compulsively cheating, hooking up, having affairs, I think today millions more men are vulnerable, especially men, are vulnerable to sexually compulsive behavior because of the proliferation of internet porn and the easy access of internet porn. So I think that's definitely the #1 problem for people who are suffering from sexually compulsive behavior.
How common is it for a woman to be suffering from this kind of addiction?
Well, you know, there are no real hard numbers on sex addiction. I mean, we know that internet porn addiction is affecting millions of people. In my own practice, I hear largely from men who are having the problem. But, you know, for many men, there's always a woman on the other side of the issue. I mean, this affects relationships as well.
We hear David Duchovny has entered rehab. How do you treat this addiction?
Well, one common way would be if you have the money, the time, and the ability to check into rehab. The reason David probably did that is because he needs to detox.
And how do you detox from it? Just like cold turkey?
Cut it off. Cold turkey. You know, you go cold turkey, you combine it with counseling, you look at really what are the triggers. You know, for many men, it's not a desire to have sex that leads to sex addiction. It's a desire to escape anxiety, stress, depression, issues. So to look at those situations that trigger the behavior and to start to be able to regulate and control it.
Ian Kerner, thank you.
Thank you.